you've experienced in 2020 probably seems out of your control. I mean, after all, you don't have any agency over pandemics and economic shutdowns, and fires and hurricanes or unemployment levels, right? You may not even feel as if your vote has any impact on the election of government officials. So what can you do when you lack control over external circumstances and how they affect your life? The thing you can do is to focus on the one thing that you can control, which is you. Now, I've written about before and spoken about before the many important things, or a handful of important things in life that you can control. But this is the main one, yourself. And specifically what I'm talking about is controlling your thoughts and your responses. Okay, so let's first talk in a little bit about this main way to create change in your life, right? Because you want to have control over change, and everything that's going on right now in the world feels like you can't change it, right? You don't have any control over it, you can't change it. So specifically, as I said, you can control your thoughts and your responses. Now, there have been lots of articles written. I've quoted the same statistics that say that we think 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day. There's a new study says we think about 6,200, but that's still a lot of thoughts rolling around in your head all the time, right? And we often think we can't control those thoughts. And I'll explain what this has to do with change in a minute, but we can control our thoughts. You can control, and when you control your thoughts, you control how you feel. And you also control your response to whatever's happening around you. So each time you control your mind's focus, basically, that's what controlling your thoughts is about, controlling where your mind is focused, you gain agency. You gain personal power, and that makes you feel less as if you can't control anything, that you can't change anything. And the more you learn to focus your thoughts where you want them to be, the more change you create in your own experience, let's say. So, if you're upset because you lost your job during the pandemic and you're unemployed, then the likelihood is, if you're feeling angry or sad or worried, that you are your thoughts are trained on, can I pay the bills? Will I ever find another job? Am I going to be homeless? That sort of thing. But you can control that. You can control what you're thinking about. You can focus on the money you do have in the bank. You can focus on the fact that your family would be happy to take you in. You can focus your thoughts on places you might like to live that are less expensive. You could do something like focus on your cat and how that your cat's doing some funny antics, or your dog likes to lie in some weird position. You could focus on that. You could focus on a podcast. There's so many ways for you to focus your mind on something more positive that doesn't cause you anguish, right? You can focus your mind on something that makes you happy, because wherever your thoughts go, your emotions go. And so we want to constantly be training our thoughts on things that make us feel good. When you feel depressed, angry, anxious, it's going to be hard for you to take any kind of action in the world. And that's the next thing, is action, to control your actions. You have control over how you respond to the world. And while choosing how to behave or respond in a situation isn't necessarily something, it won't necessarily change, like your thoughts and your actions won't necessarily change prejudice or an economic shutdown, but controlling your actions is going to give you more agency, more control. And as a result, you're going to feel more powerful, right? So controlling your actions might be as simple as getting up on time every day instead of lying in bed. for hours. It could be as simple as making sure that every day you get to your computer and you research, let's just say, job opportunities. It could be as simple as exercising every day because that makes you feel better. But you have control over what you do. You really do. Sometimes it doesn't feel like we control our thoughts or our actions, but we can. Now, some might say, that this that this internal change you're working on, your thoughts, your actions, doesn't affect external change. They might argue that changing your thoughts and actions, rather than doing something to change a specific external issue like the pandemic or the national economy or prejudice, does nothing to improve national or global issues. And that's true, sort of, but changing yourself changes nothing externally at first. But after that, it does, because your thoughts and actions change you, and then you change. Because you change, that changes your experience and how you're responding to the world, and in that, it's a ripple effect, right? You respond differently to the world, and so you help change it. Now imagine if millions of people change their thoughts and their actions for the better. What would that do? The world would become a better place. Additionally, as your experience changes, the world starts to look and feel different to you. Not only that, you gain that sense of control that you didn't have previously. You can control your internal environment, and you can control what you're doing out here in the world. And so that's a huge change, and you have control over that change, right? And you can decide to be happy, accept others, value everyone's lives, do things to protect others, be giving no matter what's happening in the world. And that does have a ripple effect. Now, controlling your experience is really important. It happens, it doesn't matter that much what happens to you. It matters how you respond to the experiences that you have. You can always control your responses. And note that a response is a different thing than a reaction. And most of us react habitually. And you have choice about that. You can change that. That's something you can control. A reaction is something you do automatically. It's typically kind of programmed into your unconscious by past experiences, past internal chatter, all of that, things you've learned. Response, on the other hand, is an intentional action or feeling. You choose it and you do what's necessary to generate it, okay? So you have a choice to respond in a certain way. And when you see the news on TV about all the COVID cases in your area, you have a choice to get upset or to go work out so that you're taking care of yourself, right? Or to go be a shopper for someone elderly or who has pre-existing conditions and can't go to the store. You have a choice to watch the news or not watch the news, right? You have choices about all kinds of things. So to feel a larger degree of control, remember that you have choice. How you feel, what you think, what you do, how you show up in the world, these are all choices. And you have control over that. You can choose to smile or to frown. You can choose to work out or sit on your couch. You can choose to donate to a charity or to keep your money for yourself. There are all kinds of choices. And that, when you realize that you have these choices and that you can make changes based on those choices, you have more control. So you may still think that none of this personal change makes a difference, makes a real difference in the world, but it makes a difference in your world, and that's the one you're experiencing personally every day, and that's important. You want to be able to take control, make changes that change how you feel, what you do, how you experience the world around you. You have control over you, ultimately. So when things feel out of your control, when you can't seem to find a way to have agency over the things going on in the world or to change them, focus on what you can control, and then know that doing that creates a ripple effect. It really does. So that is my challenge to you today. My challenge to you is to begin focusing on you, on what you can change, what you can control, which is you. You can change you, and that will have a ripple effect out into the world and make a difference in not only your experience, but the experience others have of you and of the world. If everyone changed, it would make a big difference. So my challenge to you is to figure out what you need to change, what choices you need to make about change, and to take control over that. And in your little way, begin to create change in the world. So I am Nina Amir, the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I love to help people get from where they are to where they want to go by creating more inspired results, by combining their passion and their purpose so they get inspired, take inspired action, and get inspired results. I also help them get from point A to point B, from where they are to where they want to go by helping them work on their personal and their spiritual growth. I think that both personal and spiritual growth go together. If you're a person who has a desire to be more connected and aligned to the universe, to whatever you call it, God, creator, and you also know that you need to step up into your best self in order to fulfill your purpose, then I'm your gal, because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about trying to figure out how to achieve your purpose. How to achieve your potential so you can fulfill your purpose and create a life that feeds your soul. So if that's of interest to you, there are a couple options. You can click up above on the link to fill out an application. It actually takes you to a sales page. At the bottom is an application for certified high performance coaching. I am one of 800 elite certified high performance coaches in the world. I'm a senior coach, and I would love to spend about 90 minutes with you delving into some pillars of high performance and giving you some aha moments, insights to take away, as well as some tools and strategies you can use right away that come out of the high performance research that's been done. If you don't want high performance coaching, or you can't afford the investment, you prefer group coaching, I suggest, if you're interested in personal and spiritual growth, that you click on this link and you join the Inspired Creator Community. The Inspired Creator Community is where I do help people achieve inspired results and create a life that feeds their soul. I combine the high performance coaching there with inspired results coaching. So click on that link to find out about that. Now, if you're not interested in the whole spiritual thing, but you want high performance coaching, you can join my group coaching program. It does feed into the Inspired Creator Community, so it's got a little bit of spirituality in it, but mostly it's just high performance coaching, and that is an option for you as well. So click on either of those links and let me know how I can help you. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think about this topic. If you have questions, leave them down below and I will answer them, whether you're commenting on the blog or on this YouTube video. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube station or to my blog. And you can get lots of free resources right there on my website or by getting on my mailing list. So that's it for today. Until I talk to you next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results.